How's it going, YouTube? My name is Little Z, and today I'm going to be giving you another moveset video. Now, this is actually going to be a moveset for Sigilyph in NU. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sigilyph, that thing is an absolute bitch. Usually, you'll see them running a Psycho Shift Flame Orb set with like Cosmic Power, Stored Power, Roost, and generally just being an absolute pain in the ass with the ability Magic Guard. But today I'm bringing you a set that I really like using. It doesn't make you feel like a cock, or like I don't think it's a cheap strat. It catches a lot of people off guard, and it's just a really fun set to be using. And it is going to be a Choice Specs Sigilyph. So, first up, let's go over the item. Choice Specs, if you don't already know, makes your special attack 1.5 times, but you can only use the first move that you select. So this gives Sigilyph a nice boost to its special attack. It's got base 103, which isn't the best in terms of attacking stats, but it's actually got rather decent, like 97 speed, and 103 special attack isn't that bad in NU. If you put choice specs onto it, it's going to hit really hard. Now, the thing that sets this set apart over a Life Orb Magic Guard set, because some people run offensive Sigilyphs with like Life Orb and Magic Guard, and that can work, but I prefer to run this set just because of the ability, which is Tinted Lens. Now, Tinted Lens is one of the best, if not the best, ability to have on a Specs or Scarf or Choice Banded Pokemon. Any Choice Locked Pokemon, Tinted Lens is great on. Because what Tinted Lens does, any attack that is not very effective will do double damage. So, say you want to use a Psychic move on like a Registeel, usually it'll be not very effective. With the ability Tinted Lens, it's going to be doing damage as if it was a normal type, or just anything that takes it neutrally. So, that's really good to have. That means that the only real not very effective moves that you have are things that are 4 times resisted. So say like Air Slash on a Magnezone, that'll do half damage. It'll still do... It won't be 4 times not very effective, it'll just be 2 times very effective, essentially. Now, let's move on to the EV spread. Fairly straightforward. You're going to want 252 EVs in special attack, and 252 EVs in speed with a Timid Nature. You need the Timid Nature because 97 speed, it sits at quite a nice tier for NU. You can outspeed all the base 90s and base 95s, which are relatively common, and so you're going to want to fully invest. And then special attack is relatively obvious. 4 EVs in special defense, just because in HP you're going to be taking extra rocks damage because you don't have that Magic Guard, and special defense is just better than defense for things like download things, and its typing generally leads to being more specially defensive. Anyway, going over the moves here, first up you're going to want the Strong Stab in Psyshock. Now, you can run Psychic, but I would personally recommend Psyshock, and that is because it lets you hit things like Lantern especially resists all your other moves and gets hit harder on the defensive side. Also things like Ordino and Miltank that like to run specially defensive sets, those can wall you because you won't be doing that much damage with your other moves. One of which is going to be Air Slash. So Air Slash is just the secondary stab on this. It's a good move to have, 75 power. Unfortunately not 100% accurate, but the chance to flinch is nice, because you can outspeed a surprising amount of things with Timid. And especially walls, like say you were using Air Slash on something that is not very effective on, like if they switched in possibly like a Golem with not the best special defense, you can keep Air Slashing, it'll be doing neutral damage, and you've got the chance to flinch, so you might even be able to take that out with like a 2 or 3 hit KO, depending on how lucky you get. And there's not really a better option on Sigilyph. Now the third move is going to be Heat Wave. It's not that essential, it's not the best move to have coverage wise. Like, it doesn't hit that many more things. Like Steel types, it will probably hit harder than your other 2 moves. But apart from that, with Tinted Lens and Stab, you're going to want to be going for either Psyshock or Air Slash. Those have most of your bases covered. Heat Wave is mainly for things like Registeel and Ferroseed, stuff like that. And the last move you're going to want to run is Trick. Trick is always good to have on a choice set, choice specs, choice scarf, anything like that, because you can trick it onto a wall and essentially cripple them for the rest of the game. Or even like, if you tricked it onto an Archeops, and then like, it couldn't use its flying gem. It's quite useful in just a whole bunch of different scenarios. So, trick, great move to have, and yeah, that pretty much rounds off the moveset. And so the way you're going to want to use this Sigilyph, basically, the way you should be using it most of the time, is switching in on a Pokemon that's going to be scared of receiving a Flame Orb, like a burn. So, say if you switched in on Choice Locked Sork, and then when they switch out, you have a look at their team, and you decide whether Psyshock or Air Slash or Heat Wave is going to hit most things super effectively, because it doesn't matter about things that it's not very effective on, and whatever it hits most super effectively, you're going to want to go for that move to hit anything hard, because with Tinted Lens, this thing can become a real monster that just rips holes through teams where, because if they think they've got a resistance to, Tinted Lens says no. Anyway, that's just about the moveset. I've been Little Z. Remember to give this a like if you want to see more moveset videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.